Thank you to Gil and to the team at the Alberta Federation of Labour for giving me a chance to say a few words to your members. I miss a lot of things with the schedule I keep, but I got to tell you, this one hurt. I love Alberta. As Gil can tell you, I follow the time-honored tradition of many a Newfoundlander who goes and travels back and forth to Alberta for the work. It's pretty ironic that when the Prime Minister appointed me Minister of Natural Resources back in 2019, I was sworn in and then I stepped outside of Rideau Hall to take some hard-hitting questions from the Ottawa Press Gallery, like, what could a Newfoundlander possibly know about the oil industry? And well, anyway, while I was out there, my phone buzzed, and it was a text from Minister Sonia Savage. A friend of hers had put us in touch, and she texted me and she said, "Congratulations, Minister, when are you coming to Alberta?" And I texted back right away without hesitation, "How's tomorrow?" And I touched down in Calgary the next day. I will admit that not everybody on my team was happy that I was so quick with my thumbs on the iPhone, but had to be done. Nothing's getting done on energy in this country without Alberta. Nothing. I knew that. I knew that from my constituents in Newfoundland who helped build our energy industry in Alberta and in Saskatchewan, and I'm especially proud to say, right at home in the offshore. I knew how important Alberta is to Canada's energy future, to our nation's economy, to our national prosperity. Frankly, every Newfoundlander does. So I knew how important it was to make Alberta my first stop and to show the pride that I feel in this place and in its workers. And I'll say now what I told Minister Savage that day in Calgary, and what I've said just about every day since. Workers don't just have a place at the table when it comes to this energy transition. They will lead it. They will lead it. Who else is going to do it? Who else knows where to tighten the bolts on a pipeline to keep the methane from leaking? Who else knows how to put up a wind turbine or a solar panel? Workers. They have the answers. They do the work. I said it so much as Natural Resources Minister that the Prime Minister says I talked myself into the job as Labour Minister. That is still my response to every major challenge that we face right now. And we're facing a lot of big ones in this country. Affordability, growing healthcare needs, the housing shortage, climate change, a war in Europe that is shifting the global markets. Every one of those challenges will come down to workers. You are the ones who are going to build more homes, more schools, more hospitals. You're the ones who are going to work in those hospitals too. You're the ones figuring out how to lower emissions, build up renewables, secure our energy supply. And the world is watching us, because the world knows that we have the natural resources, but they also know that we have the ambition, the knowledge, the expertise, and that's you. There are job opportunities in construction, green tech, so many other industries like we've never seen. You know that. You're in the promised land for it. Alberta already leads Canada in solar and wind by a mile. But when I was thinking about what I wanted to say in these few minutes that I get with you, I was thinking about the job opportunities that are in front of you. And then I thought, it's not enough to say jobs anymore. It's not enough to say there are thousands of jobs out there, and there are. What I'm talking about are good jobs, union jobs, jobs with good pay, good benefits, good employers who want to grow our economy and keep Canada competitive, jobs that are good for you in mind and in body. Jobs that you're well trained to do. Jobs where you can organize, unionize, ask for better. That's what we're looking at. Thousands of good union jobs. President Biden said it best when he stood in the House of Commons last month. Every single solitary initiative required to deal with the environment creates union jobs. And that doesn't just happen automatically. It happens because we work with unions. In North America right now, we have got two of the most pro-union governments that Canada and the United States have ever seen. And that's not because of sentiments and speeches like the one I'm giving right now. It's because in every decision, every investment, every policy that we're making, we are listening to unions. Because they're listening to their workers. Look at the budget we just released. That is a workers' budget. There is a lot of good stuff in there, but there is a game changer in there for you. On October 1st of this year, we are introducing 5 new green tech tax credits. We want to encourage industry to invest and help build up clean electricity, clean hydrogen, clean tech manufacturing, and CCUS. But there's a condition attached to get the full benefit of these credits. Companies have to hire union workers or pay their workers a prevailing wage to get that full benefit. That prevailing wage will be defined by unions. And 10% of the tradesperson hours must be done by Red Seal apprentices. We are investing over $80 billion in these tax credits over the next decade. That is going to build up our energy industry. It's going to be built by workers with good jobs, union jobs. And it's because of leaders like Sean Strickland, Lana Payne, Bee Brusk, Mary Shortle back home that our budget was a workers' budget. But I got to single out Gil, who has been a complete and utter nuisance through all of this. Now, in Newfoundland, complete and utter nuisance is a compliment, and that's how I intend it. He didn't quit. He kept after us. He kept after me. He persisted. These are ideas that he and his team brought to the table and insisted that we take seriously. And when we did them, he wanted more. When you told us that workers needed more help to pay for the cost of tools, we listened. We doubled the tax deduction for trade workers on tools from $500 to $1,000. When you told us that you needed tax-deductible travel and relocation expenses, we listened. Skilled trades can claim those now on their taxes this tax season. When you told us you needed 10 days of paid sick leave, we listened. Now, it is a reality for federally regulated workers in Canada. And I am making the case to my provincial and territorial colleagues to join us on this every chance that I get. You told us in the last election we needed to ban scabs in order to keep collective bargaining free and fair. We listened. We're introducing legislation this year to ban replacement workers in federal disputes. You pushed us. You've worked with us. That is a good thing. Workers united, pushing for more. Working people want reasonable things from their governments: health care, dental care, child care, roads without potholes, good pensions. That's what we're doing. We're investing over $24 billion into Alberta's healthcare system over the next decade. We have a good agreement in principle with your provincial government. Hold them to it. It's going to mean shorter wait times, more healthcare workers for Albertans, especially in rural and remote communities. And that's better for healthcare workers too. More support means that you can take the time that you need with your patients, because we know that a lot of you are burnt out too. Our new dental benefit has helped over 16,000 kids in Alberta go to the dentist who would not have gone before. We have brought a national affordable childcare system to every single province and territory. We are on track to create over 67,000 child spaces here in Alberta by 2026 and bring the cost down to $10 a day. It's happening. In my province of Newfoundland and Labrador, we've already hit that. It costs parents an average of $10 a day for childcare. That is going to happen for Albertans too. Earlier I said it's not enough to talk about jobs, that we have to make sure that we're talking about good jobs, and that is because of unions. Unions have always set the bar for what a good job is in this country. Non-unionized workers have benefited from your leadership. Every time a worker has a weekend off or a health and safety code at work, that's because of you. When a non-unionized worker earns a prevailing wage thanks to our new tax credits, it will be because of unions. Unions have made the difference between profit being generated by corporations and prosperity being shared by people. And that's how it should be. Back to energy. 2 generations ago, we asked you to figure out how to get oil out of sand. And you did that. Did you ever? Canada is now the 4th largest producer in the world. Now we need you again. We need you to lower emissions. We need to. And we need to do that while maintaining jobs and this country's prosperity. We need you to do that while we're also securing our energy supply. And on top of that, we got to make sure that we keep energy bills low. This is a massive challenge. It is our new national mission. And the world is watching. But we have called on Alberta before, and you have delivered. We can do this because we've done it. Thank you.